Good morning, good day, good evening, wherever you are. I hope you're having a wonderful time. You can call me Dragon, and today we will be finally diving back into Factorio, which it's been an entire week since I last streamed. And hello, Toto. Whew. Oh man. If I'm a little bit out of breath, it's because just before starting stream, I forgot to turn on the lights. But here we are, and everything should be ready to go. Now, as it happens, today I managed to start very early. Well, it's not that much early, but pretty early than what I would normally do. Simply because the classes today were really short. So even though they started an hour later than normal, we were also done like within a matter of 2 hours or so. So nothing too crazy. But Toto, aren't you like super sleepy? I saw you were playing 7 Days, and I saw that both Cap and Keo were watching Spoons. So I assume you've all been up all night or something again. I need to get back into 7 Days. I've been slacking off. Kind of just, I don't know. This last week was... I've just been feeling very tired. So that and been playing some of that Lost Ark game, trying to get the hang of it. I was considering if I should stream it, just because, since it's a very time-consuming game, and if I end up spending all my time on that, I'll get like no streaming done. So I don't know. I am starting up Factorio, by the way. It is on the way. But nah, today was a pretty short day. We pretty much like the only thing that was as a topic today was pitching, and to do that we had to prepare like a 3-minute pitch, which isn't really long. So normally, considering that a class lasts from 9 till 2 in the afternoon, yeah, you can't spend that many hours on a 3-minute pitches, especially because we were like, there was not a lot of attendance today. We were only 3 people there apart from the teacher. Even though, you know, normally we were at most, how many? 6 people. Yeah, 6 people. But yeah, today there was just lacking attendance. But the intent with the pitch was that it was supposed to be a pitch towards like, if you were to apply for funding or to talk with investors. And our teacher kind of didn't specify exactly which purpose the pitch should have. So the one that I made was specifically designed for like, if I was on a showroom somewhere and I had like to show off my game without a PowerPoint presentation or anything like that to back me up. Which meant that it was a little bit lacking on some parts, but still like, you know, okay, essentially. There we go. Ooh. But it was over pretty quickly, and then he went over some, okay, these are the things that you can consider for like future pitches. And that was it for today, so that's why I'm here already now. And I haven't played Factorio in so long. What were we even doing? Where are we? Who are we? What are you laughing about, Toto? Oh yeah, that's right. We made this winding roundabout kind of thing. Taking all the oil, that's what we did last. So let's just see. Yeah, all these oil tanks are pretty much done. So we're getting plenty of that. Only question is, are these actually... they seem to be producing at a pretty steady pace. More than we're using, so... Because we were running out of lubricant, that was the main goal, wasn't it? And we got that taken care of. The question is how long it's gonna last. Because we're still getting sulfurous gas faster than any of the other things, of course. It's pretty easy to figure out why. And the only thing that we're doing to get rid of it on a steady pace anyway is here, where we're converting it into like sulfur to burn it. Let's see. Huh. Oh, right. Yes. Now I remember. That's why it's sitting at 21k. It's because whenever it only opens up this valve here if the storage behind it goes beyond 80%, so we can actually see that here in effect on the pipes. So you see how it stays around 80 out of 100 in the pipes themselves. That makes sense. Oh, hey Ek, it's been a while. Having tons of sulfur when playing Industrial Revolution 2. Hello. Yeah, I'm burning it as just a fuel source. I figured that would be the most sensible choice, because just burning it in a flare stack was very, very polluting. Whereas actually using it for fuel is at least something instead of just getting rid of it. I think this is more efficient. Yeah, I only noticed that by coincidence. There's actually quite a few things you can use as fuel that, if I remember correctly, but let's just see if we can find here. It actually does list it here, right? It says burnable fuel right under sulfur. So it's like a real thing. And I'm a bit unsure if it's Krastorio or Industrial Revolution that does it, but it's, notice how it's only got 1 megajoule. Also, fuel pollution percentage is 200, but it's not the worst. But yeah, it gets like rid of it super fast. So fast, in fact, that I found out that I needed to have the blue inserters in order for it to actually even keep up. Because it just eats it. The benefit of it is that you only need like about the size of a power plant for this many sulfur production facilities. And I got this overflow valve from a flow control mod, so I'm only using it whenever it's over 80%. Which does mean that it'll keep burning it even if the other tanks are full. No, wait, that won't happen because it won't go over 80%. Yes. Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, you can make the one-way directional valves here from IR2, but I was a little bit disappointed to see that you couldn't hook it up to a wire network or something. So there's that. But I got oil for days. Got oil for fucking days. How was it? Did you guys had not messed around with cargo ships, right? Is that how it was? If I remember. Because it's been a while. Just trying to like jog my memory here. Because this is like feels kind of OP at the moment. Okay. So in cargo ships mod you can, and it's by default enabled, you can have these oil fields on the water surface. So you can have those oil fields on the water surface, and what you do is that you go out and you build this oil rig on top of it, and then you can put these ship loading pumps on the water apparently. And they have an internal buffer of can I see that even? No, I think I would have to go out, but I think it's like one. Nah, it must be more than 1k. It was like really high. 100,000 oil or something. It was like ridiculously high. And you basically have those oil tankers that then go back and forth, and this one can have 250,000 oil inside of it. Let's just put it this way. Before I set up this oil field here, I was struggling with oil production, but now it's like more than full enough. It's a lot of oil you get that way. And it's super fast too. The really weird part is though that notice how it says max consumption 750 kilowatts and it says electricity. Yeah, I assumed that it meant that it needed electricity, because Because if we look at the oil rig here, it also says that it consumes electricity. But the really weird thing is that you put them down and they just start operating immediately with no power needed. And if you try and hook it up, like put down a platform or something and hook it up to an electric grid, it'll show some really weird stuff in you know, in here with the names of the things that are hooked up, because they have basically internal names for the mod. So it doesn't seem like it's intentional for you to even hook it up in the first place. But the fact that it consumes electricity is just like a workaround for some other system or something. No, they don't either. Because they don't, like, if they did, I would assume they would pollute, but that's the other really OP thing about them. They don't pollute. Compared to a regular oil derrick that does 10 pollution a minute. Which I think might be an oversight or an intentional thing because they're on the water. I'm not entirely sure. It seems a little bit broken that they don't pollute in the slightest, at least. And a reason why I think the electricity thing is not supposed to be like... yeah, I think the electricity thing is not supposed to be like a thing where you hook it up, because yes, you can make floating electric poles from the mod, but they have a supply area of 0. So they reach just as far as regular high voltage lines, the large steel pylons, but they don't have any supply area around them, so you can't use them to hook up the oil derrick, oil rigs to anything. So yeah. But it's like fucking insane. I mean, this ship is completely empty right now, right? So check this out. That was 29,000 oil. I've set it to like wait a little bit, because of course it does take a while to pump the oil, so it doesn't make like completely pointless runs. I gotta say one thing though, the ships are sped up by a movement speed of 4 times the regular speed, so I kinda, yeah, that's one of the things I forgot. I kinda wanna like make a little post about that, asking if we can have specific speed modifier settings for the personal boat, separated from the cargo and tanker ships. I do also have a cargo ship over here. They can carry like 1,000 inventory spaces worth of stuff, which in case you want a reference, I guess we can take a look at the cargo trains. I think I have a carriage on me. Maybe not. Let's just find it here. So these can carry like 80 inventory spaces, right? So even a 4 cargo wagon train doesn't even get close to a single cargo ship. And a cargo ship takes up the space of, yeah, how much is it? Barely like a train and 2 cargo wagons. True, you can't extend them in size, but 1,000 inventory space is way more than you'd get out of most trains anyway. So they're really good for like large bulk hauls, but considering that this is 4x speed, and you gotta imagine that they normally run a quarter of the speed, so, you know, they're also really slow. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at the moment. We did get science up and running, which I'm noticing is standing still. Yeah, let's just do stronger explosives. 1,000 is pretty good. Space exploration, you had spaceships with like 3 to 4 warehouses in them. Pretty good cargo spaces as well. Like the large ones from IR2, or like the... shoot. There is that mod, what's it called again? It adds warehouses of its own right. I cannot remember the name of it. There is one like that too. Question is what to work on next. Because I think one of the issues at the moment is that I'm slowly starting to have to like expand out here. And one of the other things we did last time I played... Here, we've got rockets now. And explosive rockets at that, so... Should make it a little bit easier to take out the critters. Ah, yes. And the reason why I started doing all the oil stuff is because I ran out of lubricant. Yes. Yes, Toto, go and get some sleep. You're probably tired. Yes. Yes, yes. Tired Toto. Remember to be fresh in case you've reevaluated and actually want to play Battleforge later today. Probably going to be outside of the stream, but who knows. Oof. Well, I think the mod is called Factorio or something like that. The one with the warehouses. But like the reason why I mentioned the name is because I remember it having like a really funky one. Yeah, because we got all the walls up and running again, so I shouldn't... And since I know how far away the biters and such are in the southwest, I don't think we need to worry about that anytime soon. There's some pretty sizable bases down here though, and I have no idea how to deal with that. I think I mentioned the tank last time. Right, but they need corrosive resistant steel plates, which I think need cupro-nickel plates or something, which I'm not producing yet. Oh, right, yeah, that's what it's for. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. There's a standalone mod for warehouses as well, though. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you get the logistics ones later on. Logistics, hold on. This is what I'm missing right now. Crap. But I need utility tech cards to even research that even when I get to it. Or what? Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so it is those that we're producing here. Good. Let me just check out of curiosity to see how... I can't even make them yet. Never mind. I can make cannon shells, but I can't make tanks. Looks like I'm close to yellow tick though. At least research rise. And what was it called again? There it is. Yeah. I need low density structures though. That's like a component for the rocket, isn't it? Also, if my hair looks weird, it's because I just took a shower, by the way. Should probably mention that. Yeah, but you need like chromed pistons, low density structures, and revolutionary cards. God damn. Plastic glass. Ooh. That's all I gotta say. These weren't too bad to make, right? Yeah, it's just a plastic glass. Yeah, that is the other issue that I need to resolve soonish. Okay, it's actually already at that stage where I need to resolve it. I've run out of space again for the side product of all the iron, so I might have to do a temporary solution because the iron needs to flow. It needs to flow. God damn. I don't even... Yeah, I don't like super bus based bases. Like, I've got these buses, which is already like... This is the edge of how crazy I want to make it. Right? Because I want to avoid shit like this. Or this as much as possible. And I don't have the space to do like a super bus that goes through the middle and just keeps expanding, so... I mean, for whatever space I did have, I think I've made the most of it. considering like it's pretty much, you know, I hardly need to manually craft anything at this point. Does remind me that there is one thing I need to make though, which I'm not producing. I'm not producing the roboport thingies, the towers yet. Which means that if I run out of those from my local stockpile, I'll have to start handcrafting, and I hate handcrafting. It's the bane of my existence. It's like, I get so frustrated when I watch other people play the game and they handcraft like every 5 minutes because they run out of something. I just can't take it. I mean, sure, if that's how they play it, then and it works for them, sure. After doing the Lazy Bastard achievement for Factorio, though, I realized that this is a way more pleasant way for me to play. And I've done so ever since. But you can tell me if you're like in the same boat. AVP, hello there. Welcome to the chat. You say you should really do the Lazy Bastard achievement? Oh yeah, you should. Even better is to, well, I would say even better is to do it with friends just because of the ensued chaos, but I don't know if that's a a good way to sell it. I did it with 2 friends of mine at least. And we did a divide and conquer thing. Once we were able to, of course. It did end up being a little bit challenging for the other 2 guys though. Because, especially in the beginning, we essentially had to wait until everyone, like we had enough assemblers to go around. There was a lot of semi-manual crafting where you would just put the stuff into chests to make an assembler build it and then reconfigure it to build something else slightly later. We should probably finish this research, yes. But I digress. Vanilla Bunch run to get a bunch of achievements. Just need the 20 million greens speed achievement and Lazy Bastard. Yeah, we did a lot of those achievements at the same time. I think when we did Lazy Bastard, we did the 20 million greens achievement before finishing Lazy Bastard, so... Simply because you need so many circuit boards. Okay, let's see here. I want to do like that. That works. It's not really like I need to clean this up, but that does indeed work. Now I can actually store even more chromium, because that's like, I really need to start using this shit. It's oof. It's just been piling up. But in order to do that, we need to start clearing out some land up here. I haven't actually gone... Maybe that could be something we could do today. Do some survey missions, establishing some of these radar outposts. Maybe that might be an idea. Let me just check something. The radar's down there. I think I am using them, but I could be wrong. Optimally would be to get the advanced radar, but I need rare metals first, which I do have, I just don't have a processing plant for them. How was that again? Because it's up here I'm getting the rare metals from the filtration plants. And it's currently just stored in this box and being sent down to nowhere. So the idea was that I have this space reserved so that I could drag these belts down and get them down to a train station. But... Squeal! Hey Loki. Did someone step on you? How are you doing today? Also, how's your Factorio run? A beautiful factory. It is. Indeed it is. There's not much room left. I still gotta love this fucking oil rig setup where I needed to do like some weird stuff here just because I couldn't do like a straight turn. That wouldn't have been enough room for a port. It works though. And this is actually the first time I've really started using the cargo ships mod. Yours is going slow. Oh, don't mention it, dude. I haven't played this in at least over a week now. But I've got research up and running again. That's going all in here now. With all of my builds. So yeah, this entire factory right here, all of this is literally just to produce science. But it also produces all the science up until the purple stuff. Which would be like 6 different things, so it's pretty decent. This research area again? Oh, you mean this over here? Sure. What about it? Zoom in or out? Brilliant man? What do you mean? Yeah, that's a pretty standard technique. Inserters. You can do that in vanilla, you know. I think it's... I believe it's actually like shown in a tooltip as well somewhere, if I'm not completely mistaken. I can do logistics research, at least for these. Active provider. Storage and... Okay, so these are just the passive provider versions. Got it. I should probably at least research those though. That would actually be really helpful, and then I can convert the ones I have down here to make everything available. Then I don't need to sort shit out anymore. Seriously think that you have fought hard and heavy about that stuff? Mines? Why would you do mines? I've never really understood the usage of mines in this game, to be honest. But yeah, they're also being fed into the middle here with just like the loaders, but of course you could just do that with inserters too. Ah, okay, that's how it works. Nah, it's just a claymore. Get it? Because you said claim more. Yeah. That's like such a bad one. No, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I should be ashamed of myself. Force fields. Okay. Oh, it's for the energy shield stuff. I've never really used flamethrowers or mines in this game. This is used for airplane research, isn't it? We need an airport at some point. Though I think these might be a bit out of my reach. I'm not entirely sure. Gunships. Because airplanes can, especially the Flying Fortress is, yeah, look at the cost on that one. Oh shit, don't want to crash that. Drive-by placing of mines and bases. They're pretty effective at taking out spawners. The worse they are, the better they are. Einstein wasn't just a theoretical physicist. Recent historical studies have found that he was quite real. Wow. God damn it. God damn it, you should be ashamed of yourself as well. In your vanilla run, surrounding things and mines is one of the main defenses. Thing. Wow. Wow. Yeah, in vanilla, one of my favorite ways of taking out bases is using the attack drones. I find explosives super underwhelming. Trying to think what I should research. I think this is required in order for me to progress. So we might just want to do that. I mean, I could also research laser turrets, actually. Because the only thing I need for these would be the carbon steel turret frames and the laser. And lasers require... Okay. Ruby. God damn it. It's something that I was not expecting. Oh, man. Oh, man. Crap. There's just so many options. I don't know where to start. Getting to your free belts. Oh, right. Yeah, I remember now. Because this is like... Wasn't this... No, this is not. This is carbon steel. I thought one of the... Is it the next tier up then? Rare metals. Stainless steel. Ha. Ha. Carbon steel. There was something I needed the next tier metal for, and I cannot remember for the life of me what it was. You can also produce the rubies, though. Yeah, I found that out when I was digging coal, and I suddenly saw like a piece of diamond on the transport belt. I don't think finding them naturally is going to be very viable, to be fair. There's also the furnaces here. Stainless steel, junction box, graphite. Oh, right. Yeah, it was something that needed lead rods. It needed like one of everything, but what the hell was it again? Bullets. Fucking ammunition, that's what it was. This is where I should use, like, this is the next thing I should do, really. Make lead, stainless steel, and cupronickel at separate factories outside of this base here. And then make ammunition maybe on site and transport it out or something. That's what I think I should probably do. So joke about next tier metal being heavy. Crush them to make more or something like that. So save up some of them for when you want to produce it. Like the gemstones, right? I remember seeing a recipe somewhere. But it might have been like in FNA. Alright. Well, thanks for popping by, Loki, and I will talk to you later. Enjoy work as much as possible. Me being lucky I got off early today. But yeah, it doesn't seem feasible to try and aim for a tank because I need corrosive resistant plates, which requires cupronickel. If I remember. Yes. And that metal go down the rabbit hole. Of course, the alloy for cupronickel, which is nickel and copper. And you also Nickel is that green stuff, right? Yes. Yes. Which comes along with copper, I believe. Yes. Okay. Oh man. Well, it sounds a lot like I just have to make do with what I'm currently equipped with. I did manage to get armor-piercing anti-material rifle rounds too, so it's not too terrible. So it's like either gonna be taking out insects here or do some recon mission stuff. I think recon first and then just clear it out. But in order to do that, I would need to empty out my inventory a bit, I think. Because I might need some space for all that stuff. Get somewhere. It's kind of like just what happens when it's been a while since you last played. Gotta go back and try and remember where you were and what you were gonna do next. I think last time I also ended it where... like the stream where I was like, I'm not sure where to go next. Because we basically resolved that day's issue of getting lubricant for the advanced motors up and running again. Just at the very end of it, so... Now we got radar. Okay, so they are being produced somewhere. I just forgotten about it. Very nice. And we would also need, at least for the blueprints that I'm using, wind turbines. Let me just see here. Okay, so they're set here. Set that to infinite. So I can carry more for the time being. And some more walls, I think, as well. They are already set to infinite. 50 gates should be more than enough. Electric poles are also fine. Don't need that many conveyors either. And then there's the turrets. Yeah, 2 stacks. Can 2 stacks do it? Because those are also set to 100. Let's set those to infinite. Got our rockets and all that good stuff. Okay, let me just see if there's anything that I'm forgetting on this blueprint. Because this one isn't even completed yet. But it hasn't ended up being a problem yet because it's not been attacked at all, so... So the walls might be something that I could save, but... meh. Something I might consider though are more platforms. Since it's very unlikely to find a large enough area that I can just put it down without there being any insects in the way. I am so glad the bots can repair for me. I am not the best driver at times. Make it a little right turn there. Perfect parking. Let's see. Don't need that many, because I also need some walls. Trying to remember even where they are. Because everything's like somewhere new now. I think they're down here. The gates are down here. Oh wait, over here then. That's concrete. Where are the flippin' walls? Flippin' walls. Where you at? Regular walls going there. Here, this unassuming box is where the walls are at in the middle of everything. Because that seems safe. I should probably get like that box moved out closer to the road so it's easier to find. Maybe. What's the next turn? Just be careful here. God damn it. Can't wait until all this stuff is away. If I could, I would put down like a storage building until like, just to get rid of it. As long as you've got logistic bots, it's fine. I mean, kinda, but for a mission like this where I suddenly want more than the standard, because there's not like a way for you to tell them quickly to just like grab a bunch of extras, is there? Because they'll only like fill you up until the minimum. Isn't that how it is? Could be wrong, but I think that is the case. Should I bring more missiles? Nah. Rockets? Nah. Fine. Should also have more than enough fuel. Stack of 100 should last for more than long enough. I'm on a boat, motherfucker, don't you ever forget. Also, I found a mod that added grids to the cargo ships. So, I got utility grids for them now as well. There's a mod called Logistics Request Manager where you can request stuff from a blueprint and have several request profiles, but you haven't tried it. Yeah, it's also not exactly the same, is it? Because it would be like, oh, can you like hand me 300 explosive rockets? Like specifically like on top of what you're already providing me with. Assuming it adheres to the rules or something of your logistics setup. Hope that makes sense. Oh, I forgot to bring more wind turbines. Okay, well we'll put down one if I can find a spot. But then I might have to return because they're used up really quickly. As I kind of expected though, it does seem like this landmass does end up here, just beyond the fog of war. Can make a new profile and request into that and switch back to your normal one afterwards. But then you would need to duplicate everything. And unless there's like an inheritance system where it like is based off a different logistics request setup, it would just be too much to manage and easier to just go in and request specifically those few extras when you need them instead. And you would be back to square one, so picking them up manually might be the most convenient solution at the moment. Now the thing is, we have to remember that I can't just completely annihilate all the insects on the island and, you know, assume that I'll never see them again because they can migrate across the water too. We've seen that happen. I have no idea what the distance limitations are, but I have definitely seen that happen. Getting pretty far out now, but I think this might be a decent spot for it. I just need to get rid of these worms down there by the looks of things. Could also make chests that request the relevant, yes, and just pick up stuff from the chest. True. I don't have requested chests available to me yet though. So what's the range on these things? Nice. That's pretty dope. The new sniper ammo is also pretty dope. I like it. Ow. That was not cool. That was not so great. How much damage does it do? Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh shit, 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 fuck. I should have seen that coming. I did not put down all my attack drones, even. Rip boat. Access denied. Also, I died in the water. Does that mean all my shit's gone? Fuck! I did not consider that. Fuck. Fuck. That. Oh, God. Damn it. Why did I walk into the water? Ah, shit. There's a few things I need to at least handcraft now. Almost. Almost all things. There are a few exceptions. Such as my power armor. And the things that were on my power armor. Am I out? I'm outside of fucking logistics zone. Okay, let me just get in here. Also, weapons are not being, they are also produced manually. This is what I love to see, though. Oh, for fuck's sake. Ah. I mean, when you look at the amount of stuff that they just brought to me, it tells you a little bit of, like, just perspectivizes how much stuff I just lost. The thing is, I had all the resources to make an outpost that would have resolved that issue of dying in its entirety. And now it's at the bottom of the ocean. Ah, great. Well... Iron production also seems to be going pretty slowly right now. What's up with that? Is it because they just booted back up again or something and they were asleep? Yeah, I think that's the case. There we go. Oh, also it's because it's being used up in all the different places that I just took stuff from. Right. Rip. But the annoying part is that I need like all the different base materials all the way up to the power armor now. Oh, that's gonna not be fun. Especially bronze, because I'm only making that in like one location. Gotta keep the factory busy. Not like this, please. Not like this. Is this even operating right now? What's... Hold on a second. Something's wrong. I have a feeling we're not producing any copper because it's like full of nickel. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. That one's a bit more of a toughie because I don't have all this extra space to put that stuff in. Frick. I could drive it by train to somewhere and offload it as like a storage facility, but that would also just be so much work. Yes, I did, but I need to clear out this entire space first to do that. So it's like that was the whole intention with the scouting plan, was to figure out the layout of the island so that I knew where I could like for instance, if there's like another landmass just beyond this fog of wall over here, I'm worried that they'll just migrate across the water. So if I take out all these insect bases, you know, they're just going to come from somewhere else and reestablish them eventually. So I need to put down strategic strong points here and there in order to avoid that from happening as much as possible. So that I basically have this as a open canvas instead of constantly having to clear out enemies. Which is gonna take a long time if I don't have a high tier power armor. Is basically it. And I can't even make it now because I'm out of bronze. That is the issue that I'm facing. Well, now. Oh. It's like a tough one to swallow this. Because yes, I can just make a temporary storage somewhere, and then, you know, whenever I do get to use it, I just inverse the flow of the ore so that it gets put down there. I mean, there is some space behind these smelteries, which I could use as like a location for those storage facilities, and maybe that's just what I should do. Yes, let's just do that before I go insane. Around the bend. Right, I'm not making those storage facilities either. Damn it. Oh fuck, that's right. I also just realized actually how much we lost on that death. Because I had those, I still had those oil rigs on me. I had at least 7 of them. Fuck. And this is how expensive. Okay. I mean, they were pretty expensive. 5 oil pump jacks. It's like literally 6 stacks of iron just down the toilet per thing. So it's... oh, man. But there should be some around here. I did install a mod so that whenever I'm looking inside an inventory, it will automatically sort the contents now. I figured that was probably a good idea. There we go. That's good enough for now. Well, what do we need for this one? Holy shit. So much random crap. Basic computer, small iron frame, electric motors, rubber, corrosive resistant plating. This is like such a complex recipe that it's one of those things where it would be like, it would be nice to have it made automatically for you. But at the same time, it would also be a pain to get it actually set up to do that. And we need the small iron frames. Just a single one. Then you just request the components on the logistics network wherever you need it to handcraft stuff. But I don't have like that kind of setup. I don't put my things through a logistics buffer chest. So I cannot do that at the moment. Sadly. Let's see. And I die so infrequently that... And when I die, usually, you know, I don't lose all my stuff permanently. I would just go and reclaim my things. This time it was a little bit different though. So... I don't know why I never really considered that that was a thing that could happen. If you died in the water at least. So, lesson learned, I suppose. Excuses. Hey, I'm like automatically crafting a lot of stuff that most people wouldn't even bother with either, so I think I'm allowed that excuse. Yeah, this is gonna take a hot second. So what exactly is happening to all the copper? Is it just because they're still warming up? No. It's because I forgot that I didn't finish what I was started. Alright. Yep, this thing definitely doesn't turn as fast as any of the other vehicles. Or at least the car. But yeah, maybe if I actually set up that warehouse that I was talking about now that I went and picked it up, it would actually do something. Yeah, but wouldn't you still have to go around like just think about this for a second. Wouldn't you still have to go around and like well, not go around, but like go in here and set it up in order for you to request those particular components? And then look up exactly how many you need for each and everything still, so doesn't that also end up taking a long time? Sounds like it would. What? Out of fuel? Didn't I? How are you out of fuel? Eh? As long as running through a big factory. I mean, it still would be much faster to just set up the production of the actual thing though, right? It's also a lot more work, I get it. But I mean, that's optimally what you would be doing. This is just a specific case where it's like, oh, it's something you only really need to make once. But you might end up producing more than once. This though, like, what happened? $33 kilometers an hour. Wow. Beats walking, but it's still freaking slow driving on water. Let's not fuck up this. When you have requester chests, you do make small... I don't have requester chests unlocked yet. So So yes. Hmm. Yeah, I really don't like. But isn't it the space exploration that uses robot attrition though? Isn't it a problem to use logistics robots for all that small stuff? Or maybe I'm just like not reading it properly. It's fine. Hmm. They died, but it went fine. But you also have infinite resources in space exploration, I guess, so it's not, shouldn't be too surprising. Whoa, that takes forever to pick up. Holy shit. But yeah, I didn't really like the idea of robot attrition because that's like such a core thing that they change. And the worst part is that they force it upon you unless it's been changed. Because the mod was set as a dependency deliberately, which I really did not appreciate. True, true. I mean, it depends on your settings though. I was actually going for like even this run is a little bit more generous than what I actually had planned in mind. It's just really difficult to get the world gen settings right the first time around. So preferably I actually would have had access to less resources. I think the starting resources are fine, but I feel like the resources further out are too generous still. But it's really difficult to set it right when you're doing islands. So huh. So this one is able to reach onto this ship in this case. So there's like 2 tiles of water and then land. So it tells me that it's likely because it's... Yeah, okay. It's the placement that's incorrect. It's not optimal. What the fuck were they picking up anyway? Or are they delivering me things? Oh, it's all the excess fuel. Ah, got it. Maybe don't do that. Hmm. Okay, so this will work. So it's just... if I move it over by 1... Okay. It's not the end of the world. Did I have to do this though? It was a little bit sketchy. Oh, true. I don't even have... fuck. I don't even have the, damn it. The personal robopod on me. So doing all this is gonna be a fucking... Why did I end up dying? Dying is stupid. You should not die. Don't die. Isn't that what they say? Eat good. Prefer without attrition too, but it really wasn't a problem. Space base was completely bot driven and it was no problem. You just built a ton of them. Robot attrition won't let you go below 50 bots, so it won't completely kill your base. Oh, okay. I didn't even know that it did that. Had to restart a few times in space if some resources went low, but it wasn't too bad. Okay. See, I only read the robot attrition thing and it said like, oh yeah, your robots just have like period a certain percentage chance of just self-destroying and stuff. And I really didn't like that idea. Even though, like as it says, you can adjust it to really low percentages, but it just felt like a cop-out solution, or however you say that. It's like, oh, we added it, but we didn't decide to remove it. We just decided like make it so you can remove it entirely. We only did it so you can set it really, really low because we want to enforce you to still use it, but sure, you know. I didn't quite understand why they did it that way. Really? Okay, maybe it's changed since, because when I messed around with it, all I saw was that you set up a percentage chance of them failing, and you could just set it like really low but never towards 0. Huh. Okay. Seems like a... See, that sounds like an artificial inflation of gameplay. That's what I don't like about it. It feels like it artificially inflates the time required in order to get to other stages of the game. Well, now this is running again. Actually, have I set this up correctly? Yes. So it will not leave unless its cargo is also empty. I guess it's sort of a cool aspect that, you know, there's a fail chance for the rockets in theory and such. But I mean, it just means that you just wait until you've got more of it researched, doesn't it? Or that the earlier game is going to be stretched out because there's a chance of failure. But it doesn't really like add a challenge to the game. That's the thing though, right? It forces you to do more stuff of the same, but I think there's like other ways that you could do that. Yeah, I guess so. I suppose you also running with space exploration, so like, you know, you do have the core drills and all that as far as I know. So it's not like you ever truly run out of resources. And it's probably just because I'm like in the mindset of, you know, you only have one planet and it's like infinite and stuff. But that's not the case for space exploration. Because even though you do have multiple planets and the resources are limited, you can also get infinite resources through like further expansion. But that's like one thing about Factorio, which is why I'm like interested in trying to make it a bit more challenging on the resource side, is that, again, I think that it's just way too generous once you start getting trains involved. Even in like the default train world settings, I feel like the deposits are further away, true, but they're also massive. So it's like never really necessary to go that far outwards unless you want to go like really deep into super end game vanilla stuff, which has never really caught my interest. The infinite sign stuff. Output varies by planet and it's a big power draw. Also, like the more, unless it's changed, of course. As I understand it, the more of those core drills you put on one planet, the less efficient they are, right? So there is a limit to it as well. But that's like the grounds for why you should expand to other planets, not like, you know, other things. A lot of resources you need to get in space and they spawn on different planets. That sounds like a catch-22 when you put it like that. I think I know what you mean. Because if you need to go to other planets to go into space, then you can't get those resources to go into space. Because they're on other planets. I think what you mean is that in order to get the resources for more advanced stuff, you need to go to other planets. But to get into actual space, you do that with resources on the main planet already. Right? I have no idea. Let's put this car down. Need those resources to produce further things after going into space. Yeah, but it's like you don't need them to actually go into space. Right? I assume it's like in order to go from one solar system to another or to like further away planets, you need more advanced stuff, maybe? Crap. I drove too far. Okay, let's see how this going now. I'm getting something. It's definitely something now. Make one of those, even if it's gonna take a while. Corrosion resistant iron plates. I think that's what this is for, isn't it? Yes. It is, however, going pretty slowly. Because they are low on iron, I assume. It looks like it, at least. Build sticks. What's the easiest way to get that armor up again? Probably just to grab some ingots and manually hand smash it together. Yeah, I need more bronze by the look of things. There we go. But the research you need to do in space once you've launched the rocket and requires those resources. Yeah, and that research you have to do in space, right? It's all that chromed stuff. Electroplater. Coats metal components with a layer of protective metal. Damn. That seems a pretty good distance far away in terms of where I'm currently at. I guess one thing I could try and experiment is with the prototype artillery from Bio Industries. But I don't know if that would be a bit too cheesy. Maybe it would be. I don't think I've ever tried making them. Where even is the artillery itself? Oh god, I also need these roboports. Ah, there it is, prototype artillery. It's not really that bad to make them. Got all the components. They are in different places than the base though. But eh. Can't do smelting in space, so there's logistic challenges and shipping resources around. Oh, okay. So there's, I didn't know that there were things you couldn't do in oh, sorry about that. You can do in space. I kind of just assumed that you could do anything. Certain buildings can only be built on planets, certain things only in space. And even more on spaceships. I see. What do we need for this? Okay, we need bronze. Is that because, is it taking into account the fact that I'm making other armor? Possibly not. But I do need the red circuit boards. Where am I making those again? I think I'm only making them up here, actually. Here. I am extruding them, but not really being used for anything besides research, so they're just sitting around. Screech. So we need steel, some of those motors. I might be able to just snipe some of them here because this should also be one of the only places that they're being sent to anyway. I only need 8 of them, so 2 more to go. And then we need some reinforced carbon steel plates, which is a lot of steel. Might be worth seeing if I can just pick up the actual carbon steel plates themselves. Because if I have to handcraft that, that's going to take forever to do. Since it involves steel plates after all. Ooh, I think it might be around here or something. I think those are regular steel plates, yeah. Weren't I making reinforced ones? Or are these iron? These are iron. Fair enough. Is it... No, those are regular plates too. I was pretty sure I was making the reinforced ones out of steel, but... Maybe I'm wrong on that one. Well, whatever the case, I can at least get me some of those. There we go. Oh no, I am making them right here. Right, it's for the walls. There we go. Still need to handcraft a few things. Which is gonna take a good hot second, but it's still like doable. And after that I also need to make 2 personal roboports at least. And how was it again? 2 portable generators, I believe. It's just a ton of iron. Iron beams and combustion engines, pretty much. This is mostly steel down here. right, left. Where am I making the... Trying to remember where the the engines are located at. Combustion engines. I think I know. I think I got it. Should be somewhere around the middle somewhere. I think they're being like used up there. I can just take them from here. We go. It's more than enough. Because I should only need 2 of those. Oof. Okay, hold a second. I think I'm just gonna find ion beam production plant, otherwise it's gonna take forever. I mean, it's already taking forever, but it's gonna take forever. Forever squared. Should be able to pick some up down here. It's just a matter of finding this right spot. I think they're coming up here, yeah. So what are you doing right now, Ek? What are you up to? And then some portable accumulators, I believe. Working while watching. Oh, okay. What are you working on? Or with? There's the batteries. Software developers are programming web scraping. Wait, web scraping? I have no idea what that is. Do seem to get a lot of programmers and software developers in here. Well, I guess it's kind of the same, but not necessarily. Extracting data from websites. Ah, okay. Sounded like it would be something along those lines, but you know, it's easy to ask you. Software developer magnet. Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. Hold on, I gotta go and blow my nose because it's running pretty badly. So be right back. Also using the opportunity to brush my hair. Alright. So all that's crafted. Hold on a second. Oh, I didn't... No, wait, what? Why do I have an additional heavy end? Okay, whatever. Not exactly sure why I ended up having more of those, multiples of those, but okie dokie. Can do with one more battery. That's not the one I wanted. Mhm. Yeah. There we go. I'm still using this pellet coke for the portable generators though, because it seems like it's more efficient than fuel, at least, like regular fuel. It almost has twice as high a fuel value. It does less pollution, and if you can use it for vehicles, it would increase the acceleration and top speed at least. So it's a little bit of a sad thing that regular fuel is so underwhelming in comparison. Because it feels like a downgrade, but you're forced into using it due to the patches that are done to the trains and all that. Like the car won't run on anything but fuel, so I have mixed opinions on it. I understand why for the edit challenge, but it just doesn't work super well together. Not always, anyway. Now I've got robos again though, so that's good. Right, so before I go anywhere, I thought I would put this armor into storage. Actually also get rid of all this stuff. And that's why like setting up individual requests for it is like such a tedious process. It would be nice if I could just say like, oh, bring me resources to craft this one thing, you know? That would be infinitely useful. So like request for per recipe. Which I guess you can do with blueprints because... well, not really. There's nothing like... you can't really request something by recipe. It has to be like the individual pieces. Right? But I guess you could have a separate loadout which just gives you a ton of raw resources. The problem of course is that, you know, logistics warehouses and such. Which actually reminds me, what do I even need for these? Oh wow. Huh. Okay. Before I do anything, maybe we ought to just do a few handcrafts. Just a few. I have an idea. Should be able to just drive across here, right? Yep. God damn it. Oh hey Cellfire. Welcome to. Welcome to. Hope you're not too tired. Is it early or is it late today? Is the storage the same for logistics warehouses? I assume so. Yes. It's still 500 in size. Nope. This is exactly the same. So 120 for the medium and 500 for the full warehouses. Seems like a bad idea if they had different sizes though, because that causes a lot of problems. Right? Also, what would the logic be for that? I mean, a steel chest is used in the recipe for the regular provider chests, and they have the same storage capacity too. So if you want to be true to the vanilla logic, you would make them the same. That just seems like the logical approach to me anyway. This is what we were after. Grab him. Okay, chill out, Dragon. Maybe that was a bit too many. But I should be able to just make storage chests here for warehouses. So what are you up to today, Cellfire? Is it some late or early day gameplay watching. 9 p.m. Right, but that doesn't tell me if you're waking up if you're going to bed. Time is one thing, but that doesn't have anything to say with when you got out of bed. You don't know what to do. Go sleep in 5 hours. Alright. What to do? Have you played Lost Ark, Cellfire? I don't know if you were into like MMOs or anything, but and that's, I guess, a general question for both of you guys and everyone else. Is like, if you guys have played Lost Ark yet. Ooh, this is gonna be amazing. Nice. Nova Islands. Only has a demo. Haven't heard of that one. Nova Islands. So it was something that was, yeah, wow, this is in Danish. Nice. But it's the demo festival thing that Steam started doing, like, I think, was it last year, or has it been going for longer? I can't remember. Explore a new found planet, reveal its mysteries, and make this your new home. Cool, cool. I played Factorio yesterday, and I was very much not pleased. This game. Because we played Black and White on stream not too long ago, and I looked up God Simulator games that were coming up, and this was revealed to me. But it plays nothing like a Black and White. Nothing. Also been watching stuff on Ukraine a bit. I see. Yeah. It's like, I don't really know, like, it doesn't really... There's not really much you can do about the situation, you know? All we can do, at least, you know, if you're not directly involved in it, of course, is to hope that nothing terrible is gonna end up happening completely. I've only heard about it very briefly through a friend of mine. That's the only reason why I knew about it in the first place. If people hadn't mentioned it to me, it would probably just have flown straight across my head. Yeah, it's the same when I heard about it. First, I didn't quite... Like, my friend just said, like, oh yeah, and then there's, of course, like, that Ukraine, Russia kind of situation going on right now, and I asked, what are they up to now? And even he said, like, because the only reason he had heard about it was through, like, radio and stuff, but I neither watch television or listen into radio, so... that kind of information would only be passed on to me through like Facebook or something like that, and Facebook just hadn't quite caught on in my social circles yet, so I was taken a little bit aback by this sudden news to me anyway. So it's like, what is it again? Russia has always like been wanting to like annex all those smaller areas around them and stuff, and if they can't do it peacefully, then through force. That's at least So for context, in uni we got a lot of people from Hungary and Bulgaria, on my study line at least, and I think also just university specifically, like, or generally, sorry. And one of my good friends there from Hungary, he told me about like why he was in Denmark, for instance, and the same with the friends of mine now from Bulgaria. And there were a lot of overlap in terms of reasons and such. As far as I could understand it, it's just like Hungary has just not been doing too well. And people are like basically just trying to get away from all the issues that surround you if you live in Hungary, and then moving to other European countries to try and like not have to deal with all that stuff, to put in like a simple way. But yeah, TV annoys you to watch. I don't even have like TV channels or anything, so I literally just use my TV screen to play video games on. Okay, should we try this again, or should I try and start clearing out the bases? That's what I'm thinking about right now. I have a feeling I should probably start clearing all these bases. It's gonna take a while though. Only question is, what should I bring? Some walls for the hard points and turrets. Given ammunition to fill them up is mostly like the most expensive part about this. Followed by walls, of course. But if I'm gonna be like putting a stack of ammo in each and every single one of these hard point bases, it's gonna add up pretty quickly. And there it is. Sneaky chest. This should last for a while, and then just some ammo and we should be flying. Well, if I had airplanes, haha. But yeah, I haven't really other than the fact that I think if I understood it correctly, Russia basically placed a bunch of troops along the border to Ukraine, which, you know, is like a very provocative thing to do. So basically imagine the wolf's at your doorstep, and if you're not prepared when he barges through, you know, you're worried that he'll just overrun you and overwhelm you. And the issue here is that at the slightest sign of, like, at the slightest opportunity that Russia would need, they could possibly send in, you know, all those troops they would have stationed. So that's the worry or something, right? They attacked yesterday? Wait, what? Okay, it's been like 2 days ago since I heard anything about this, so they attacked yesterday. Okay, that's not good. No, I'm completely in the blind. It's like, I know nothing. So this is also that, like, as I said, I haven't really stayed on taps with it because I have other things in my life that I'm worrying more about. Wait, it's still deleting. Hold on, what? DR? What, Danish radio? What is DR? Oh, okay. But I don't listen to radio, so it's like I have not seen anything about it. I haven't been on Facebook for like, I only go there when I'm talking to family and very rarely check in, so I haven't seen anything about it. But as I said, I'm like in that situation where I've got other things that I'm personally worrying about. Oh shit. Hold on, I just need to log into my Streamlabs because why did it delete all those messages? I'm pretty sure I set the bot to not purge mode. So let me just make sure that that is actually the case. I'll give you, you know, a permit in a moment, but is it link protection? There. I mean, it's just set to a 1 second timeout, but it still purges all your messages. Well, that's annoying. Is there no way that you can... Is that just... I think that's just how Twitch timeout works, maybe? So maybe it's a Twitch thing. Because I feel like 66 messages being deleted automatically is a little bit extreme. And I don't expect any of you to know any of this stuff, so pardon me while I try and figure this out. So what would it be under? Auto deletes all past messages. Yes. But it's more like if I can actually set it to not do that. Because that seems a bit extreme. Let's see here. Moderation. Chat options. Block hyperlinks. I've disabled that part because... But it might be that Streamlabs just does the timeout command, which I think is timeout a Twitch command? I don't even remember. Yeah, but it's more like, can you change it? Timeout, not purge or something. Not delete messages. See. How to delete one chat message on Twitch YouTube video. What a title. Why am I not getting any good hits here? Linked protection is deleting all messages. It's made like that because they may be spamming stuff not wanted. Right, but if they're spamming links, then just delete the links that are being spammed. I mean, Twitch already has like spam protection that if you try and write messages too close to each other, it stops you from spamming. So I don't see any need for like that kind of spam protection. It seems a little bit too crazy. Don't really want all their messages. Wow. Don't seem to find any good answers to this. Perch deletes the message with a 1-tick timeout for the chatter to clear a link or something that isn't bannable, but you don't want in your chat. Yeah, why is it purging everything from the chatter? Only want the single message purge. But twice now it purged everything, blah blah blah. And then Streamlabs just going, can you submit like a ticket to us? Why not just give an answer so everyone else looking for a question here can actually find this shit too? I hate it when companies go like, oh yeah, let's figure this out. Is the timeout a Streamlabs thing though? That is the question. Guess that would be under mod tools too, wouldn't it? No. Because you do have the default commands. Let's see. Doesn't seem like it's a thing. Okay. So is it a slash timeout? Yes, okay, so that means that it is a Twitch command, the timeout at least. So that's part of the way. So Twitch timeout settings, maybe? Setting up moderation for Twitch. Why is this so hard to find? Give it a few more minutes and then if I don't figure it out, I'll just give up on it for the time being. How does that Twitch from deleting all of someone's messages upon auto timeout is being way too strict and I have it blah blah blah, the lowest settings or something. Turn it off, you don't have a need for that specific parameter. What? There isn't a way to just delete one message, so it has to purge them all? Question mark. What? Sometimes when you read answers to this, it's a question on its own right, which is kind of weird. But is there really no way to change the command's behavior? Because that seems a bit absurd. Because I'm looking at the moderation tab for Twitch. The auto mod rules set. But that's like filtering out bad words and such. Yeah, that's for like word contents. That's not exactly what I need. Or terms and phrases, permitted terms and phrases. Nah. Might be just how it is. There's no way of like addressing it. Right. Well, I gave it a shot. I think I'll just let this one lie for now. But I should be able to do this. Give you a permit, Selfire, if you want to post a link. No, I don't really want to be reading news right now, but I assume it's because it's a bit more complicated than telling me what's going on in chat. I also realize that you guys probably don't want to be like referencing a whole like news article or something. Over to the left somewhere, right? Might have to go more left. We need more bullets. But that also kind of explains why some of the other people at that business class thing were a bit on edge and hadn't quite done their stuff for today. And I was just sitting there like a fucking ignorant fuck. Oh right, wasn't it you? No, sorry, it was Ek and Kaz, sorry. But Ek is also Sleeping. There we go. My bad. It's a good stream to watch. Thanks, Selfire. Great. Yeah. I'm just a citizen in a European country and I have nothing that I can do about it. So being like concerned and stuff doesn't really benefit anyone. I can, you know, show solidarity and say that war's pretty terrible and all that stuff. And like attacking a country just because you want to annex them is kind of fucked. If that is their actual reasoning. But I'm not too sharp into politics, so I just try and get by however I can. Why have your neck cut off? What do you mean half my neck is cut off? Could be because of the lighting, but it doesn't seem like a thing on my performance. I don't know. Might just be poor lighting. It's like I'm using some software that does image recognition and filters me out, like this background subtraction based off of light. So that's why sometimes it gets like a bit wonky. Because it's like things that need to be like a certain brightness, and then it also prefers things that are closer to the camera. So that's like why when I move around and such, you can see those weird artifacts and stuff. But it does mean I don't need a green screen at least. So I assume it just did some weird stuff. I have noticed that if... Oh, I need some fish. If it like, over time, if I sit still for a very long time or light sort of changes suddenly, it sometimes gets a bit confused. That's a lot of aliens that I need to take out. Infraspray space. Yeah, I've watched what was his name again? Real Civil Engineer, whatever. Played a little bit. I regret every decision. Mama! Mama! My little pea shooter won't do me good. Holy shit. Hey Hamp. How you doing? Oh man, how am I ever gonna take out all these biter bases? It's not you. Oh, for fuck's sake. They do be generating pretty damn quickly though. How do I address this? Speed would be one way. But dude. Yeah, I don't have any... Ah, god damn it. See, that's the issue. All my construction robots are now broken, so I have to go back, pick up some new ones. Is there a way that I can disable the... If I disable logistics and auto trash, does that also disable the construction robots from doing stuff? Because I really need like an on-the-fly feature to prevent my construction robots from committing suicide. So they'll try and go out and like break things. It's on the hotbar. Ah, right. Personal robot. You're right. Why did I forget about that? Probably because I've never really had to use it, is my guess. But you're right. I should probably make use of that. Yeah. I found it. And carry on, carry on. If you're not back again tomorrow. Oh, fuck. I was like, those sound like lyrics that I'm familiar with. Yeah. I only now realized, probably because I was in the middle of something when you wrote that. Hold on a second, I don't have construction robots still. What? I think probably wasn't within range. Yeah, I wasn't within range. There we go. Because nothing really matters. Mama! Yeah. Which, funnily enough, is like in reference to that song. So it was very fitting, I just didn't catch it. That's all. Would it even be worth trying to put ammunition on this car? I mean, it allows me to shoot things from a distance, but maybe like clear terrain obstacles. Build it. I'm like, oh. Oh yeah. Let's go. I'm gonna take a wild guess and assume that I cannot shoot rockets across these walls, though. I have a strong feeling that they'll just explode. Oh, God, look at them all. Ow. Enable the bots for repairs. So how on point are they? Okay, they will finish their task before returning, it looks like. Fair enough. Can I get out of here? Yes. Mama! I'm scared. Because yes, I've got rockets, but... this is scary. If I had more combat robots, I might feel a bit more safe. Will you let me go? Let me go. Let me go. Ow, I almost killed myself. Don't do that. What? I think. Haven't been active in a while, so you haven't seen me around, so thought of introducing yourself. Friendly neighborhood, hyperactive Twitch mod. Yes, that sounds about right. Your level of improved explosives might help with the rockets. Yeah, Hemp is like part of the original chat back from when I was still doing TTK RimWorld stuff. So he's been around for a while. And I needed mods back then, so oh right. Yeah, I think this is part of the problem. If I get those landmines researched, it would open up more possibilities. But why is it going so bloody slow? What are we short on? Blue? Blue. It's always blue. Well, not always, but it's definitely blue. And why is it blue? Because of iron. Why is it iron? Because I just died recently. That, I think, pretty much summarizes exactly why it's going so freaking slow. No, I mean, I'm researching it right now. It's got nothing to do with my hate for landmines. It's just because the, where even are the beams coming from? Shit. Because they're here. Going down left. Down here. So this is not running at full capacity because iron is short. But the reason why iron is short is because I just had to refill my entire inventory with all this random shit. So it's being used for steel production, it's being used for making components to replenish the stockpile for all the stuff that was requested once I died. So that is pretty much the TLDR of that. Not that ancient, only been here for around 9.36 months. About 9 months and 11 days. Gotcha. Gotcha. It's a long time ago though. I kind of miss it. There's some of the people back then that I kind of miss not being around. I hope they're doing well though. Like after the 1.2 colony is when I started implementing all the sound bites. And some of them was like specifically added because of certain people, and then they just stopped showing up, so I felt sad. Like, I did this for you, but you're not here. Okay, I think now that I actually have my bots out, I might be able to do a little bit better. Ow. I do mean a little though. Ow. All this acid is tripping me though. Ow. Also friendly fire, I guess. Is it considered friendly fire when you're shooting yourself with a rocket? Because you're too close to the blast radius? Or would you consider that collateral damage? Or both. I mean, both is also acceptable. I feel like these rockets go by so fast though. Oh shit, stir up the hive. Stir up the hive. Ow, ow. Ow, ow. Collateral damage, self-harm. Alright. Ow. I'm surprised the bots, they don't take more damage from this than they do. Also, by the way, it was last week we played some Battleforge on stream, which is like this well, I guess now it's like a revival of a free-to-play RTS, art-based RTS, if you've never heard about it. But if any one of you guys in chat would like to play it at some point, I would be totally down to do it on like stream and stuff. Because it's like it's free to play, right? It's not too difficult to get into. There are some things about it that definitely, you know, it's not new anymore. But I think it still holds up pretty well for today's standards. And it's literally just a matter of going on and like downloading it and signing up for a free account. Good thing is that because it's a little bit on the older side, most computers will be able to run it too. Because how old is it? Like 2013 we're talking or something? Is when I last played the official version, if you can call it that. Because it was originally owned by EA, but because they couldn't figure out how to monetize it properly, they decided to shut it down. Being a live service game meant that no one could play it for years. But at some point, about, must have been a year or two ago, a public re-release of the game was made available, and it's called Skylords Reborn now. And instead of like, you know, trying to monetize on it, because, you know, it's not their IP and it's not endorsed by EA directly, means that they're just going to be running this complete free-to-play model where you just earn rewards in-game. So there's no way that you can actually purchase cards through real money stores whatsoever. You do have to earn it. And they've been like working on implementing features to make that happen. So yeah, if anyone would be interested in that, I would be totally down. I've played a little bit off stream and just to see how it's like. And Toto's been very frustrated, but she's been giving it an honest try. I do also know a few things now that if any of you guys would end up playing it, that might be notable, what do you call it, tips that you might want to know. Because one of the things that Toto didn't realize is that you do like have these quests that you can accomplish. And as you do them through the in-game mail system, you're rewarded with like cards and card packs, especially like in the early game where you're starting out, just to like get you boosted into it. And she deleted all of those mails because she didn't know that they contained stuff. So when I told her, she got a little bit salty. Because that was a lot of cards that she's basically just been throwing away, since you do have to redeem them from the mailbox. It's called Battleforge, but the revival is called Skylords Reborn. I can link it to you guys in a moment. I think I'll just take out this base first. Actually, screw that. I am out of rockets, pretty much. So while that happens, I can find it for you. And it's, though it's an RTS, it, how should we say it? Like, there's a lot of the game that's, yeah, you found it, Ham. Thank you. Skylords.eu. There's a lot of the game that's very centered around PvE co-op play. There is also PvP options in the game, though. And if you're more of a PvP player, they also have stuff in place to like cater to your needs. Because the issue originally of the game was that PvE and PvP was not separated. Or wait, no, I think they were separated, but it was like a draft-like system. So think Magic the Gathering. where the way it worked was that you bought boosters for your seasonal PvP deck, and then you could take cards out of your PvP into your PvE game deck, but and then, you know, they would only last for a season or whatever. Basically their business model to keep you buying new cards, I suppose. But in Skylords Reborn instead, it's like, oh, you get all the cards available for PvP, but it's still separated from PvE. It just means that you can use any card and strategy you want for PvP, and it's not gated by the fact that you need to, you know, acquire the actual cards first. So if you just want the PvP experience, you can also do that. Invent has so much space. Oh, inventory. Yeah. Yeah, I set the Krastorio settings to max for inventory space because I hate small inventories in Factorio. There's no reason for having a small inventory other than just being a pain in the ass. That's at least my own stance on that. Let's do 400. Just so I don't have to return as frequently. Also, wait. Crap. Oh no, okay, good. I do have robopods. But yeah, I really don't like that the inventory size in the base game is so restricted. Normally there is, like, you do get more for larger armors, but that also just introduces like that issue where you get the large armor, right? And you get so used to having it that if for some reason you die and lose that armor, it just messes up your ability to pick up things when you lose it if you're like out and you die. So either you have like a spare armor on hand, which you can then like equip temporarily until you retrieve your actual primary armor or whatever, just for the inventory space. Because if you don't, and you go out and pick up your inventory and you have too many things on you, it'll leave some stuff behind because you first have to equip your armor and then you have to re-pick up everything. Yeah, inventory management is so annoying too. Yeah. Exactly. So that's why it's pretty sizable. Pretty much. Explosives. Should be good. Seems like 100 defender capsules is more than enough for the time being. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, the range on this is not the furthest, but some of these bases aren't too sizable. And they're like further away from the main base, so pollution won't make it too difficult at the moment, I think. Wait, what? Ah, for fuck's sake. Some games are really bad with inventory management. I agree. I'm trying to think like Skyrim and such, because I remember there are people that think that Sky UI should be like the way that is a preferable way for the UI to be. I didn't particularly mind the way that you navigated the UI, even though it was like clear that it was sort of tailored towards console games and such, or console gaming. But still, there's definitely some games that have way too much inventory management. I still remember how it used to be in No Man's Sky early game, where it's like, oh, you have to like constantly recharge your multi-tool.
Raiding party!
Salmon God, oh my god, it's been a while. Hello there, and everyone coming in. How are you guys doing? It's been a while since I've seen you play. What have you been doing? Final Fantasy 6. Final Fantasy 6. I don't think I've never played about that one. I pretty much started playing Final Fantasy with 7 and onward, so I sort of never got into that. Hope you're doing well, my friend. One of your favorite games? Is it also your first Final Fantasy that you played then, since you say it's one of your favorites? We're over here playing some Factorio, and I just died recently and lost a ton of stuff. But the goal is to try and get rid of as many of these insect bases as possible. Most people, Final Fantasy 7 was most people's first. Oh wow. Yeah, okay, that's like really old school. That's like really, really old school. Was about 11 when Final Fantasy 6 came out. I'm trying to remember how old I was. Like, I didn't even have an original copy of Final Fantasy 7 for the PlayStation, so can't be a younger generation. 1994, yeah, and I was born in 92, so yeah, that's definitely would be why. It's like when I got to play it for real though. That was multiple years after. In fact, it was actually my mom who played it first, and she was the one who got me introduced into it when the time was for it. But that meant that she also had to figure out how to play it in the first place. So yes, my mom, she's completed Final Fantasy 7 and 8. And she also had that mentality of you haven't really beaten a game until you've 100%ed it. And true to her word, she went into Final Fantasy with that mentality as well, which everyone who knows a Final Fantasy game knows that's not something to be taken lightly. Let's just say that she got a little bit frustrated and really wanted to 100% it. Okay, I don't think I can multitask this. What are you saying? Play Final Fantasy 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mystic Quest. Mystic Quest. Doesn't quite ring a bell. Final Fantasy 6 is the best. Should be the flagship of the franchise. Wasn't 7 the first one where they went to full 3D though? Let's see, Final Fantasy 6. It reminds me, I think it's like which Final Fantasy? Is it Final Fantasy 3 they did like a 3D remaster of or something? I'm trying to remember because I have like an older one on Steam that I never touched yet. I thought so. Yeah. I see. All right. So Cellfire, yes. Actually, it's not as bad as some people make it out to be, in my opinion. The main issue with Final Fantasy 7 and 8 is that there are parts of the game, if you don't do a particular thing at a particular time, you will eventually forever forfeit the ability to do that and acquire said items. As far as I remember, at least, being the main problem. So, you know, if you don't get those whilst you're adventuring and then you want to go back and do 100% later, you just can't do that as far as I know. You think it was too early to go full 3D. It didn't go age well, and sprite work at the same time looked better. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they did some pretty fucking crazy stuff with Final Fantasy VII, which, you know, they're not afraid of showing off. If you go back and re-watch the whole opening cinematic for Final Fantasy VII, the original anyway, the way that they do that whole introduction of Midgar is fucking insane. Because if you think about it, they show like one part of the city and then they zoom out, giving you like an entire overview of it or whatever, and then they zoom right in, all in like without any, like, it's completely seamless, right? There's no visible loading zones or anything, or and you don't really notice that like it transfers you out and in like that. It's pretty well done. True, I mean, it's a little bit wonky that the characters are those chibified versions of themselves or whatever. But personally, as a kid, I didn't really mind. You know, I understood the reasoning why they were like that. And in actual combat, you know, you had way more detailed models. So in my opinion, that wasn't really like an issue. But you're right, though. You know, it did have an impact on the quality that they could do for the actual cutscenes. So I understand the logic there. But I think the thing that really stuck with me the most for 7 is the story world. That's probably the most enticing part about it, because it's such an excellent mix of sort of steampunk, but also magic, you know, but also very like alternate modern society, like, because it's all around like a giant electricity company, basically, like not necessarily taking over the world, but kind of taking over the world, you know. Corporate stuff. Lost interest in Final Fantasy VII around the end of the first disc, so after Midgar. It's also one of the things that most fans remember the most, which is why probably the remake sent the first part of the remake is just Midgar. So huge fan, was impressed by the production quality at the time and hyped yourself up for the game for years. The only one you've never been able to finish despite trying several times. I get that. Actually, it took me a lot of attempts to complete Final Fantasy VII as well. I have had a similar experience to you where I would get towards the end of the third disc, which would be right after Midgar, and then put the game aside and then lose interest when I return, because it's like, oh, there's like this whole city that was established and now you're in an open world, which should really excite you, but it also feels like you're starting from scratch, right? Because everything you had established so far you won't be returning back to. So it was that mixed feeling where, yes, it's a huge open world now, it feels like, even though in reality it was still very linear, but it did definitely feel the same. Power to the people. Depends who you're asking. I assume you mean me. I haven't, but I have seen it. I'm a little bit broke these days, so I have to be very cautious where I spend my money. It was curious to me, and wasn't it you who... Someone mentioned it a couple streams ago. Looks interesting, and I also asked about it. But, nah, I've got like other priorities at the moment. Mainly games that I already own. Cause gotta save up. Looks interesting though. But now what my mom ended up doing just to finish that off, because she was trying to 100% it and got frustrated that, because there was like a few barriers here. So one, English is not our native language, and my mom, I think she might actually have played like the game in German I can't remember if it has language select in the beginning of it. But if it wasn't German, she probably prioritized that. Otherwise, she could also understand English, but it wasn't as good at the time. But what she ended up doing was that in order to 100% it, she found like an online, you know, how-to completionist guide for Final Fantasy VII, because those did exist. And being the person she is, she also decided to print out the whole thing. So at my mom's place, there's like how many binders? I think it's like, I can't remember if it was more than one binder per game, but there's at least one binder for Final Fantasy VII and 8 at her place that completely outlines how to 100% it and everything else you can do in the game. Few was pacing issues. Story was too convoluted, didn't connect with the characters. Incoherent setting, and the gameplay felt like a step backwards. See, that's the thing, like, I really liked about 7 though, that the materia system. But I'm trying to remember. I think I did play Grandia before that. Oh shit, I'm so fucked. Did all my construction bots die? Almost. Yikes. But yeah, for reference, I did play another JRPG before that called Grandia for the PS1 as well. And oh shit. Okay. I think I need to change of plans here. And that game works a little bit differently. And if you think that a Final Fantasy can be very linear, then oh boy. Wait, did it? I think they broke my car. Great. Good thing I've got a spare, bastards. But Grandia is very much like a game where if you miss out on things throughout your journey and your adventure, you get screwed over pretty badly. Do you have a wishlist on Steam you want? Huh? You want? I probably wouldn't have time to play it because I've got a lot of things on my plate, Selfire. Especially not just like things I have available, but also things that are coming up, so I don't want to burden other people with like wish lists and stuff. Because otherwise, like, I just end up getting a bunch of games that I never get around to play, and I don't think that's like, that's not like how I want to do things. So I don't want to be pressed to also play it. I hope you understand. Tier system is basically a copy of the S-bar system from Final Fantasy VI, but more restricting. Okay. Grandia is my favorite JRPG of all time. I really like the story world, and I really like the way that combat works in it. With the, what do you call it, like, ability to move around, but it's still turn-based, you know? But that is really linear. Oh, okay. Oh, you can... I should have my Steam profile linked in my panel, so you can just go and take a look if you wanted to. So go and check that out. Okay, let's wait with that base a little bit. How about we actually establish a little outpost here? I use like Steam wishlists as a, oh, these are games that I'm interested in kind of thing. So I've got a pretty long list at this point. So it's very dangerous for people to go in and use the wishlist as like a, oh, I wonder what Dragon would like for his birthday kind of a deal. Because chances are it would be like a game that I'm watching for whenever it goes on sale, but I have no intention on playing like anytime soon. Yeah, I think a lot of people do that. Also, I need to give these guys some bullets. If you see something you think you would enjoy playing at all, you add it. You have over 1,000 games on your wish list. Holy shit. Yeah, I don't have that many, fortunately. There are like some things on there that are pretty questionable too. But yeah. Just to find sale on the game you might want to play, or to track early access game. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I think that's probably how most people use it. Give me bots. Butts. If you want to see what I like, is probably a better approach would be to just go and look at what games I actually play. Oh, to see what the games are like at the end of early access. Okay, that's what you meant. Right. I had to read that twice. But yeah, for me, some of the games that I'm looking forward to are the... Yeah, we got it. The Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. I'm really looking forward to that, because it's been delayed for a couple times, and it's just been a very long time since I've played a Lego Star Wars game in particular. And just the fact that they've not just remastered but redone the whole like original trilogy as well. And I guess it would also have to be episode 1 through 3, maybe even. But yeah, that just also really entices me, because the first Lego Star Wars games are really dated now in terms of gameplay, and that's why they said that they had to basically redo them, because the way that those Lego games work these days is so different than how it used to be. But also just, you know, being able to play all of them together at the same time just tells me that there's going to be a lot of content. Off to be an adult. Alright, Salmon God. Thanks for dropping by with the raid. And do take care. I'll see if I can repay the favor. It's always going to be hard due to time zones, but you know how it is. You always try to wait until early access is over. Oh, so you're just going to stop buying games forever now, Cellfire? I don't think there's many games that actually ever leave early access and are true to the fact that they've left early access. They might say that they've left EA, but in actuality, you know, they haven't really. I still consider No Man's Sky to be early access, as an example. Yeah, almost like that. And I mean, there's games like 7 Days to Die, which aren't even hiding it. They're still in alpha, but it's like alpha 20 of all things. I think they've gone pretty far beyond alpha. Like, if you go by, as far as I know at least, if you go by traditional understanding of alpha and beta and stuff, once you're feature complete, you would go out of alpha or something. And be in beta pretty much. But the thing is, they've been like drastically changing some of the core systems of their game between each alpha version. But sometimes it's been more drastic than others, and you can argue whether or not it's like actually like deserves a whole new version change, version number change. But I digress. But was it you, Cellfire, who said someone mentioned inventory management in Ark? So which Ark are we talking about now? Because there's two games that could refer to. Oh, you installed I mean, Hemp, I don't know, but are you even into RTS games in the first place? Because if you're not into RTS games, I don't think it's gonna be something for you. I mean, there's Ark Survival Evolved and there's Lost Ark now. So both games involves inventory management, but are very different in very different ways. And I think that inventory management in Ark Survival Evolved is pretty bad, but in Lost Ark it's not really an issue, so... Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Gamer. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, well, Battleforge is closer to Magic than the Gathering than Yu-Gi-Oh! Though. But sure enough. Slowly but surely cut down the amount of spiders and nests and stuff. Rocket. But yeah, what games would you compare Battleforge to? I mean, it's basically got a similar system to mana collars from Magic the Gathering for summoning the creatures, because those are the prerequisites for being able to summon larger and larger beings, with different color combinations required in some instances. But then in order to actually summon them, you need power, which is just like a more traditional RTS mechanic, you know? You're so good at Yu-Gi-Oh! That the last letter of the game was named after you? Wow. I don't think so. I highly doubt that to be true. Unless you want to be called a true Yu-Gi-Oh! Hamp now, if that's what you mean. But I have a feeling that's not quite what you're going for. Nah. Ow. Yu-Gi-Oh! Ham. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Don't deselect the fucking healing items, you... Yeah. You doofus. Whoa. Dragon King Slant 25. Hold on a second. Not exactly sure where you're trying to go with this, but I don't like it. Oh, fuck. Step too close to the sun. Go away. So we just put down a base here. Should be fine, right? Doom 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 doom. More explosives. We've got a few rockets left. 144 should be fine. I mean, we've made some progress, but it's definitely about as tedious as I imagined it to be. Oh yeah, this is much better now. Already. Oh shit! Dear goodness. Goodness gracious. Well, we can give it some test playthroughs, Hamp, if you're interested in giving it an honest go at some point. Co-op in Battleforge is set up so that it's either 2-player co-op or 3/4-player co-op. Ow. And you can technically do either, but if you're more than 2 players, it's preferable that you're at least 4, just because it makes it a little bit easier usually. And some of the campaign maps are, or all the campaign maps are like restricted to a specific amount of players. So some maps will always be single player, some of them will always be a two-man co-op mission, and others will always be 4-man co-op. Now the thing about 4-man co-op campaign missions anyway is that, from if memory serves me right, it is made so that if you're 2 players there, you can split up and, you know, just do 2 players worth of involvement or whatever. So you just catch up the slack. But you do need to be at least 2 players for the 4-man groups, so. Have the power of God and anime on my side, yeah. Oh no, Nigoro. Or something. I do not claim to be good at Japanese in any way whatsoever. Nani? Joe Star, family secret technique, run away. The only anime I've ever really watched is One Piece, which reminds me, I really need to catch up. It's been like a year of me not being up to date on it, so actually way more than that. So a lot of stuff's probably happened since. When I last watched, they were in the what's the place called again? The Wano Kingdom, or however you pronounce that in English. Isn't that what it was called? The samurai place, Wano Country. Yes. But they were all like doing separate things there, all the characters at least, so. Ow, 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 ow. Disappointment, 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 mama! Shit. Holy fuck. Okay. See, that I can't wait till this is not gonna be an issue anymore. Wait, did I also lose my car? Fuck. Awesome. Good thing I've got a spare. But yeah, other than the Skywalker saga, what else do we have? But there are some other games too. I mean, there's Xenoblade 3 coming up now, so that's definitely on my great wish list, because that was like dropping in September, I believe, is what they said. That's the planned release date for it, I believe. Which is not super far away, really. You've got a lot of the games and you've already played them. I mean, makes sense, considering you're like fairly regularly here, so also got a lot of them on your own wish list. Yeah, I've sort of tried to tone down the amount of stuff that I wish list, because there's just like too many early access games coming out and I just never get around to play them. Like, for instance, I was playing that Factorio yesterday because they came out with a demo. I was just like so disappointed with it, you know? And at the end of the day, it felt just like a lot of... I just wasted like a couple hours of my life that day. I think it was because I was expecting it to be like a black and white type game, but it's nothing like a black and white in the slightest. It's more like a simplified colony management game with focus on your individual people or something like that. You just happen to be a god. But like, even casting miracles wasn't really that exciting, because it, as far as I played, surmounted to you just clicking on UI elements, and then it's like, oh, yep, you've cast like a generic they are happy now miracle. Like, what? It's like I click a button and now they're happy, is what it felt like. And it was just not a great experience. And I was reading in the discussion forums to try and take the pulse on it, just to hear what other people were saying. And it's very much a two-sided discussion. So there's those that are like me, which expect it because they, you know, say that it's a god, like franchise in the god genre, or whatever you want to call it, that it would be at least somewhat similar to pre-existing titles like Black and White, because if you look at the content for the game, it does strike some of the same like imagery that you would expect from a Black and White type game if it was set in like a newer engine and stuff. But yeah, they just never do it. What are you saying? Watch people play some games instead of buying them yourself. And there's some that are like that too. Soldate and Ship Graveyard Simulator Prologue are free, so you can install them. Well, the reason why Soldate is on there is because they made Soldate 2. I think the reason why Ship Graveyard Simulator Prologue is on there is because that was before the actual game itself was on there as a wishlistable thing. From my experience at least, Steam hasn't always had this system where you could put out a demo and then make people wishlist the early access title. They would be like separate things. So that's why it's like listed as a separate thing there in my wish list too. Which of course, you know, it's a good thing that they changed that so that you could now, because otherwise, you know, you can use the wish lists to get an indication on how many people are interested in your title. But if the wish list is literally just for the demo itself, then they don't get notified when, like, I know that it's, you know, available for purchase and stuff now, of course, but the point still stands that you're not informing your customers that they can actually like when the game is available, if that makes any sense. But as far as I know now, you can like put up a demo and it'll directly refer, like all the wish lists will refer to the early access version rather than like a demo of the game itself. But maybe it's because they announced the demo. Maybe that's why it's different. That could also be a thing, I guess. Yeah, maybe that's actually it. Because then it makes sense if you wishlist or bookmark or whatever the page for the demo, then that's also what you're going to be told when it's like out or whatever. I guess in my case, I've just never removed the prologue from the wish list because I've never really bothered. Break time. Slime Rancher 2. What about Slime Rancher 2? I've played the first one, but I never got really far. Oh, I'm just saying hi to the locals. Don't worry about it. I heard this was a standard procedure. I was trying to, you know, blend in and stuff. But yeah, did you ever tell me which which game we were talking about? Which arc was where we're talking about? Was it for inventory management? Was it Lost Ark or was it Ark Survival Evolved? Like completely got sidetracked again. Because for Ark Survival Evolved, inventory management is only a pain because you can carry so little with default settings. So it's a lot of like moving small amounts back and forth all the time. Okay, we've got to focus a little bit here, I think. Nah, it's more like I made a bunch of fireworks and I just felt like I would share. You know, handouts and stuff. Insect afterlife. You got a missile. Actually, they're rockets. They're not missiles. There's a technical distinction there. That actually describes the second time Copenhagen burned down to the ground pretty well. What? Big torpedo go burr. I see. Yeah, you got a point. I think I heard that before as well in history class. That it's technically the first, like, recorded terror attack in history. I'm so dead. Maybe not. Scubbity poo poo boom. Take this, you bastards. Oh, no, you don't. Build for me, my minions. Trying to get rid of all the ammo I don't have. This could end really badly. Holy shit, what are you saying? Terror attack is distinguished as an act of war that specifically targeted on civilians to cause panic. The attack was on the civilians of Copenhagen to force the king to lay down arms, because technically we had a much larger fleet than the British. They just kinda sort of surprised us in our own backyard. So the napalm bombed Copenhagen and our entire fleet, thus effectively ending the Danish Empire. Freaking British damn terrorists. Whoa! Oh, shit. Karma, I suppose. Just say that next time, like, you see like a native British person, just say like, oh, you look like a terrorist. And then try and explain why afterwards. See how... See the confused look on their faces. I wonder if that's a thing they teach in British school. Like, remember that one time when we caused a terrorist attack on Denmark? Oh yeah, by the way, history lesson. You know. So you would call the ransack and attack of Alexandria a terror attack? Would you call Viking raids terror attacks? Because those were also not against military positions either, right? I mean, technically they were pirates too, right? So... Or they were engaged in piracy. Of Copenhagen and our fleet built entirely from wood, napalm works quite well. Yeah, I think I understood that. Because that was the time period we're talking about. I mean, it's like, you know, it's nowhere near modern times in any way. Damn those Viking terrorists. In the 70s and 80s, they did make an official apology, which to you seems completely irrelevant. What a terrorist. The motivation was different. Right, but then... The fuck was that? Oh, those were all the drones dying. But if the motivation is such, I mean... Then that would be in the definition of what makes up a terrorist attack, then. You know, that would add to it. Has to be, like, motivated. Because I guess the point is that it's like an attack specifically to put people in distress. Or more accurately, I guess, it's not people, but a government ruling over said people to force their hand into like some particular direction or something. I hope I'm explaining this well enough and you catch what I'm saying. Let's do like this. Yeah, in principle, the outcomes are, I guess, kind of the same. I mean, when you're looting someone, you're not just necessarily destroying their way of life, but you're also like stealing from them, right? Because the goal and motivation and stuff and end result is that you get rich and they get killed, maybe, most likely, possibly. Whereas with a terrorist attack, you know, you just destroying things for the sake, like, you know, without the intent of gaining monetary value or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, they are pretty similar in effect. Trying to remember. I really should try and extrude this out. This will have to do for now, though. Motivated / specifically targeted. Principle both Vikings and pirates used fear to dominate their opponents. So in a sense, it's the same. It's just not characterized as terrorism. It's more looting and pillaging. It's also like, I assume that for the most part, the fear ensued by Viking and pirate raids was more of like a strategic, like not necessarily as much as a strategic, like it's not a strategic decision, like they didn't raid in order to instill fear, but rather for them, you know, the Vikings and such, a positive outcome of the raids that benefited them to a certain degree. But could also like be a problem, of course. Because we have to remember they also did a lot of trading, right? Whereas terrorism, again, is like with the intent of ensuing fear. Not as like a direct product, but the actual like desired result. Obviously, if you raid someone and steal all their belongings and kill their children or something stupid, crazy like that, then it's probably safe to assume that you instill fear in any potential survivors, so. The aim was to get rich, while terrorism isn't aiming to get rich. Aiming to cause panic. Though you're sure there are many terrorists today that do it less for their gods or ideologies and more for money. It's hard to say. We did get to that point where the Vikings didn't have to fight a lot of the time. The British lords would just leave gold in a chest on the beach. Mercantile terrorists. Once again, were causing distress and panic and raiding villages and cities. I mean, they got a lot of clout as being like, you know, pretty successful and strong warriors too, which open up the possibility of them being employed as elite gods in like what the Middle East and so places like that, right? I don't remember, I haven't read up on it much, but that's just what I've been told and sounds pretty reasonable, and from what little I have read, I'm pretty sure it's true at least, but I don't know how far they actually went, like how far out they went. Yeah, this machine gun is not quite that strong. Can I? Yes, I can. How strong would this be? Not that strong. Oh, and it gets like slow to a crawl if I drive through a creep. Got it. Got it. Okay, let's just park the car. You don't know, you think they did it more for what they believe is right. Well, if we're talking about cyber terrorism, it could be like contracted cyber terrorists from a completely third country, you know. Wait, why is there a storage chest in there? That must have been a misplaced. Like hiring Chinese hackers or something to do your dirty work. Then those hackers would be causing terrorism, but in return for money, right? That would be their motivation. True, the people instigating and ordering the hacks, for instance, in this case, are the ones who might have some kind of ideological reason to, you know, have... Fuck. I killed myself. To have any hacking done, but... yeah. Well, what did you do? What did you write this time, Loki? Oh, did you put a... God damn it, guys. How many times do I have to tell you? You were saying a thing. Something dot something. It's a part of the name. Yeah, I know, but it's like as soon as it contains a dot, a punctuation sign anywhere in a sentence, that's how they recognize URLs. So any sentence you write, as soon as there's a punctuation, it's considered an URL and will be sorry, I can't configure it to not do that. Yeah. So just thought I would exemplify. I do that mistake so frequently in other people's chat too. So for instance, if you say like, want to write down, oh, Poppy Mark 2 with the dot between the mark and the two eyes or whatever, then it gets registered as a URL and you don't think about it. I mean, you can use any symbols as long as it's got a dot in there. It gets recognized as like a URL. Spice. Yeah, you can, like, as long as it's not the actual punctuation icon or letter or whatever sign, whatever you want to call it, it's fine. It's just as soon as it's the dot in there. I mean, it's the easiest way to moderate. Ah, fuck. No, wait, maybe it's not so bad. I was thinking maybe my inventory got bloated with a bunch of other crap, but I think it's just... yeah, personal logistics and auto trash is not enabled when you die, thankfully. I remember that being like a thing whenever you would die and you would go near your logistics system, you would just be like filled up with a bunch of stuff. Is that like a mod tweak or something? Or have they actually done that for the vanilla game too? Because I remember so many times dying and then immediately being swarmed by bots. It's not just the bot, it's the whole app. Yeah. It's not even, yeah. Recently written an HTTP file translator. Your list of possible transfer protocols and references is miles long. Okay. Yeah. Pretty much what you said, Hemp. It's definitely better than Restream's own moderation tools, though. Their tools are pretty bad. Because they don't have, like, any generic approach to recognize URLs. Which means that the only thing you can do for Restream's chat overlay is to write in the entire length of the URL. Like, it looks... The only filtration they have is phrase filtration. So you can't even say, like, generically, oh, you know, restrict all URL usage, because it technically circumvents the stuff from Streamlabs. I've mentioned that a couple times. I swear, I'll figure out how to not die soon. Eventually. I think the worst part is just the travel distance at this point. Well. FTP, HTTP, TCP, UDPH. The problem is, a bot will go in and write whatever URL without the HTTP and all that stuff. So. Drive-by mining? Thanks, Ek. No. I mean, it's the explosives that are killing me. If I were more patient and just used the antimaterial rifle, it wouldn't be an issue. It would just take much longer. Yeah, I know. But why not just use grenades then? Because if you're going to be putting down the mines, how does that work? Do I even have grenades? I can make grenades. They're just, why? Yeah, they're just way less damaging. Area of effect is slightly larger. Throwing speed 2 a second is your throwing speed. 2 what? 2 cells? Range of 15? Yeah. I mean, I'm only interested in taking out the bases. Because if I just take out the biters, they're just going to respawn, so... But you know that. But I would probably just end up getting myself killed anyways, because I would keep getting stuck into rain and stuff. So I don't necessarily want to pursue that approach. If I could have a more localized respawn point, that would be nice, but I don't have that buildings that you use for it. I should really get one though, a shelter, or whatever it's called. These things. Since that does set my spawn point. So I'm just a doofus for not having these. Because I would just put one down closer by. That would pretty much reduce the, what do you call it? The downsides of me dying. I could also just not kill myself. Get fucked, you bastards. Only noobs die. Yeah, well, guess what? I'm a noob. What about it? In the beginning. Ah, it's not a, like, you're still in the beginning if you've only played for 400 hours of Factorio. You're not truly out of the beginning until you've played at least 600. Oh, fuck. Have you seen the meme? No, what meme? My playtime is 123 hours. So I'm not even halfway there yet. In total. I'm still at 523 hours, so I'm fine. I'm still not there yet. Nice try. I'm not one of those crazy people who have like literally 5,000 hours of playtime. Whoa, okay. I'll read that after I focus down this blaze here. Keep up the attack. Oh shit. Whoa, 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 poison, 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 poison. Ooh. Oh, we're fine, we're fine. Totally wasn't getting mauled by this big worm's acidy spit. So we spit on them. Imagine having like a Knuckles meme mod that replaces all the worms with just like a sprite of Knuckles. Why has no one made that yet? Maybe it's too memey. That's why. Seems like a pretty obvious mod, though. Oh fuck! Fuck! Okay, let's set up a... Oh, let's get rid of that first. Set up this post here, thank you very much. Good call too, it seems. Oh, these guys are shooting at me. There we go. First step is admitting it, and the second step is to get good. First step is to accept that we're all noobs at everything, then stop trying due to crippling depression, live 30 years with it, and then realize it never really mattered. Everything turned out okay, fight Zen, and then die and go to insect nirvana, where all the friends you killed have been waiting for you. Still a noob then. When you're around the 730 hours, that's when you get good. Okay, Ek, whatever. Feel like watching the meme, it's completely PG-10. Okay, or something. Should read it now. It's a total life enrichment thing, like 10 out of 10 would read again, you swear. I don't know if it's that eye-opening. I think I would prefer not having to walk all the way back here. That's kind of where my mood is at the moment. Dun. Explosives are also gradually doing more and more damage, which is very sweet. This is what we need. Should be a motivational speaker. You're a massive orator, clearly. Uh-huh. So the next thing you're telling me is that you also want to be like a life coach or whatever the fuck they're called. Just become a yoga teacher. It's basically the same thing. Actually have training as a business and life coach. Ooh. Weird flex. Nah, not really. Oh, fuck. What? I mean, what? So, huh? So the rocket clearly collided with something here. Was that a tree? It definitely almost killed me again. Boom, boom. Whoa, 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 I'm not, I don't want to die. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna go and grab some mats and make a shelter by hand because this is getting really bothersome. Okay, what do we need? Iron beams, coal, plates, and copper wire. Iron beams are going to be the most annoying part, so let's go and grab those first. Somewhere along here. How to get good at RimWorld. Step 1, get person. Step 2, fight loosely dressed person. Step 3, fight more people. Step 4, build. Step 5, don't play the game for another 24 years. I don't know. I don't know if I would go that far. Oh wait, those are not the iron beams, those are the steel ones. Jokes aside, coaching have some serious potential, but it takes a lot of work and most coaches are just there for the free money. Free money. Easy money, I think, is probably more, isn't it? Isn't it more in line with what it's probably like? Because I mean, you still have to work for it, but I don't know. Imagine buying money for money. So you say bank transaction fees. You're literally buying money for money. Some sort of. Think about it. Yes, exactly. That too. So also if you're exchanging one currency to another, I guess, would that also count? Well, I don't know. I'm just asking the questions. Don't know why, but I've got 2 pieces of rail on me. Okay. Okay, we get this shelter now. I should really just have done this the first time I died. Sure, dire straits can tell you a bit about Freem. Uh-huh. Gotta play that guitar on the MTV. Get your money for nothing and your chicks for free. Do they say chicks or checks? I assume they mean chicks. It's been a while since I looked up the lyrics on that song. Yeah, right? I'm just running as fast as they can, because... yeah. So the first 3D in a music video, is it? Really? I don't think I necessarily watched it. It's like one of those songs that almost everyone knows. Or I've heard at least sometimes in their life. I've only heard it multiple times because of Guitar Hero, pretty much. Now, where did I fuck up again? Look. Somewhere around here, right? Oh, there he is. It's pretty amusing to see what the early 3D was like. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Some early CG was very interesting. No doubt about that. Oh, for fuck's sake. I did a mistake again. Well, good thing I got the shelter. I feel like I'm just like doing worse and worse. This is a little bit more convenient though. Oh, dude, this fucking mission is a disaster. Here we go again. This time, remember to put down the bots to keep my ass safe. Nothing can save me from stupidity though. God fucking damn it, rockets. Maybe I should not have made those explosive rockets. Maybe I should just stick to regular ones. Because I feel like they're doing more harm than good almost. God fucking damn it. Do I need to start adding like a depth counter on the stream overlay or something? Because it feels like it. We're getting pretty damn close. Ow. I'm telling you, as soon as I have the capacity and infrastructure, I'm making fucking energy fields. Or just anything to beef up my combat capabilities. On power armor, at least. Oh shit, not that way. Ow, ow, ow. Ow. Can't run, can't hide. I mean, it's both good and bad that explosives begun to do more damage, I guess. Come running just as fast as they can. Cause every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed man. Over. Ow. Maybe the flex tape's gonna save me. Back those, you bastards. Is there like a statistics thing about deaths and such that I can look up? Because this is coming a little bit sad at this stage. Well, it's an awesome way to start the weekend. At least, as long as I don't die in the water, I should be good. Because that first death really set the precedent for how fortunate I would be today. Hey, I'm doing a lot of damage now. Fuck. Why does this keep happening? It's... Maybe I just need to start using the construction robots to clear an area around me. Just because. Just because. It's probably because I'm so zoomed out and there's just so many dead bodies everywhere that I don't notice that I step in front of a rock and then boom, I'm dead. God damn it. And now that I've got that outpost, I'm probably also a little bit more reckless than I would otherwise have been. It's my guess, anyway. It's also because I can't, like, target shrubs directly with the rocket launcher. It'll only lock on... Like, that one actually requires you to lock on to a valid target. So I can't quite use it to clear a path unless there's like an enemy on the other side. Oh great, I'm also out. I think that's also part of where the problems lie. Boom, boom. Get wrecked. Build for me, my minions. Seems like I've also lost some construction bots. Not too surprising though. Now I've got that fucking song stuck to my brain. Thanks. It's gonna be a bit of a bother moving forward if all the that biomass stuff needs manual removal. That's like the one thing that I'm thinking right now. How many hot points already? God damn. But yeah, I'm like Slightly worried about how bad this dealing with all this biomass is going to be at some point. You can also burn that for fuel, by the way, so it's not like I can't get rid of it in a relatively easy manner anyway. But still. Deconstruction planner to remove them. Right, but you still have to... Don't you still have to do it manually then, though? Like, assign deconstruction of it? Because I assume that... okay, maybe not. Yeah, you can do like that, but... Yeah, it's probably gonna be a nuisance. Anything else in the area, it won't target the goo. Yeah, because it's a ground-based tile, right? So, I actually learned how to copy tiles the other day. Yeah. So what is it? The is it shift? Yeah, there's like a specific button you could press so that it would bring up the configuration thing. Yeah, I can't remember. It's not the end of the world either. Ooh. Well, at least we've gotten outside of the contaminated zone, which is making it a little bit easier now. They're not as aggressively in terms of like spawning in, at least, so that's a major plus. You removed a lot of goo in your Space Exploration K2 playthrough. The construction planner for removing it is useful, cause rocks and stuff make it a pain to remove. It's also because you've got very limited reach on the creep collector. It would be cool if you could have like increased reach like what is done with the cargo ships mod. You have these straight waterways, and when you're wielding these, it more than doubles your tile reach. So while you're placing down straight or the waterways, you can reach really, really far, which makes it, you know, easier to work with. Oh yeah, I assume that much. Once they're fast enough and can keep up with my vehicle, I can just make a drive-by and like collect it up that way, I suppose. Right now, since the destruction of the bases is also very manual, it's... it probably won't be make that much of a difference. Right, rockets. Run a big global robot network, so you just build roboports near it and let them grab it all. Yeah, I'm still using robo towers and their range is pretty limited, so... this way, I think. I mean, I don't even have trains running yet. I mean, I have the option to, but there's just not been any need for it yet. Over here. Let's grab a bunch. How are we doing on this end down here? Has it stabilized? Yeah, this seems to be running pretty well at the moment. So our heavy oil has been filled up entirely, so now it's just down to the oil cracking process that turns it into light oil. And lubricant, of course, which I suppose is exactly what I wanted. Kinda. Lubricant is running a little bit low though, but that could just be a side effect of only having 5 cracking facilities. Might have to consider expanding that at some point. I think I did mention that on a previous stream that I would do that at some point. Because I kind of built this whole thing up into a corner, so I can't really expand it. Building somewhere else. I mean, the plastic production is pretty much the same though. Fortunately, I don't need it as badly at the moment, so they can just chug along. Because it's mainly just for, I guess it is for research. So if I sped it up, we would get research done faster, but because that's what keeping these guys from working faster at least. Got the capacity if we have lubricant. But lubricant is on the short. Okay. I think that's for another time though. I want to take a break from this because those clearing out those bases is a little bit tedious. So I'll probably do more of that off stream as well to get that rest of the island cleared out. But I think I want to switch into some clone here just to do a little bit of that for a while. If you guys are interested in that, stick around. But in order to do that, I will need to just quickly do a cut on the stream for the sake of the VOD. So that just means I'll have to click the end and start stream right again. So be right back.